Today in this video, I want to talk about what is required to get to the professional level. Now, there is no secret that those who have made it to the professional level have elite skill, peak physical training, and strong mental fortitude to get them to where they are. But if you're someone who is trying to get to that level, it is consistently showing up every single day, pushing past your limits, and facing the new challenges head on. Now, if you're someone who is following this dream and have been for a while, but just still kind of stuck in what are the next steps to do, stick around for this video. Hopefully I can share some insight with you on some good tips that you can be following. Now, for most players, their journey actually starts in youth academies. Now, the reason why youth academies are actually so great is not because they are just training facilities, but because of what they are and their pipelines. They shape athletes with structured coaching, tactical education, and exposure to higher tournaments such as national tournaments, state tournaments, wherever they can get into to get them the exposure that they need. Now, with comes exposure and learning new basics. This is what they need to get to the next level, because obviously when you start at a young age and they can see that you are progressing and you have that young talent at the start and can learn the basics at a young age, that is how you will progress the fastest. So evidently, the younger you go into a professional academy, the better it will be for you to grow and understand the sport and what those coaches need from you. Now, what almost all coaches are actually going to be looking for is, can you master the basics? Now, the reason why I was talking about youth academies so much is because when you are that young, it is so much easier for you to be learning the basics because they are teaching you while you are developing. Now, if you are a player that has tons of skill and that is their play style and you can do it consistently, that's great. Don't fall away from your play style. But a lot of the times, these coaches are looking for the game face value, which means, can you make the basic passes, the 1-2s? Can you make the smart runs? Can you make the smart passes? Are you going to play lots of long balls? What is your thought process while these coaches are watching you? Are you going to make the smart plays, or are you going to just kind of stumble over your own feet? Awareness of the game is so crucial, and something that you should be doing if you are in front of one of those coaches is you should be studying the position of what the coach wants to see. If you can find the videos of the exact position that you want to be recruited in, I would absolutely suggest that you go watch a couple of the videos of his team and what that player does in the position and the exact role that he is looking for. Now, if you are entering in your late teens and even in your 20s, but you are still looking for that dream, do not give up. It's just going to be a little bit harder. Remember, there is no dream that is too big and nothing that is too impossible. Now, if you are someone that is a little bit older and someone who has not been a part of a youth academy or someone who hasn't gone into JUCO or club and just trying to figure out, social media highlights are super, super crucial to getting yourself out there. Now, social media is great to keep uploading on how you're doing in your clips and just reaching out, DMing coaches, emailing them, showing yourself that you're still very committed to this in whatever team are participating you are in. Now, if you are someone who is very serious about this, in this day of age, it is very important that you look for licensed agents, look for advisors, look for those that you can pay for, that you can get into the right space. Because in this day of age, there are tons and tons of new agents and advisors out there who are going to help you to get to the next level. I would seriously suggest you look into that, because if you are getting into that kind of a younger age and not a part of those academies like I talked about, it does get a lot harder. But if you do talk to people that do have those connections, that will go so much more significantly. Obviously, the cost of it might be a sacrifice, but the sacrifice, I think, is what you should be willing to make. Now, obviously, a lot of these professional teams will have showcases where hundreds of players go. I've been to a couple of them myself, and it is very challenging because of how many people are there. But the rewarding thing is how many scouts are there. Now, you have to kind of network in that way, because once you do get there, it's not exactly a time to just showcase. I mean, if you are good enough, obviously they will look at you, but you have to really put yourself out there. A lot of these coaches are looking for personality. Are you personable? Are you good to talk to? What will you be like off the field? Now, sometimes these showcases can be from 3 days to 1 day to maybe just one 90-minute game to maybe a couple of training sessions with them. It can be for what they want to be. But the fact of the matter is, when you get there, you have to give 110%, and you can't walk away knowing you could have gave more. Because if you do, that's big waste of money, big waste of opportunity. You have to make the most of this. A lot of these showcases are lots and lots of money that you have to kind of sacrifice, like I said. And if you are willing to make the sacrifice for this, you have to make the sacrifice physically. These moments are expensive, they are exhausting, they are uncertain. But in those, like I said, you have to go towards the challenges at face value. You just have to go for it. You can't think about the negative of it, of what ifs. It just has to be it. You have to go to these showcases and go, I'm going to meet as many coaches as I can, and I'm going to do everything in my power to show what I have. And at that, that's the best you really can do. I would suggest actually going to showcases if you want to put yourself out there. They can be really good. Yet with every talent that you have, obviously comes the mental side of it. I'd always like to say that 80% of becoming a professional soccer player is actually mental. Now, a lot of coaches and players would agree with me, and obviously they're not wrong. It takes tons of discipline, as I said, in order to achieve this. Now, sacrificing the early mornings, late nights, the parties, the family events, whatever it is, it's going to happen and it's going to come with this. But with it will take time. If you keep on showing up every single day, it will reward you. Now, players will break under pressure, no matter if that is in a game or a training or during a showcase. At some point, they will break. It's just in our nature. But what are some steps that you can be taking if you want to try to avoid this breaking? Now, when I was in an academy and I wanted to talk about someone on the mental side of it, I actually had a goalkeeper coach who actually used to play for Everton. And what he actually told me is he used to do two things before a game: visualization, and when he was training, repeating the same drills. Now, when it came to visualization, basically he summed it down to when he had any time to be alone, he would take 30 minutes to an hour to even sometimes 5 hours if he really needed to. And yes, he really did take that much time. And he would just sit there either with the lights off, and he would just close his eyes and just imagine the same scenario over and over and over again. The reason why this helped him so much is because once he got in the game and he visualized the same shot 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times of him saving that one shot that goes to the left, his body will just instantly want to do that. Visualization is really great for just repeating the same thing that you think about in your mind, so that when it comes to game time, your mind will just automatically want to do it. It's entering that flow state where you just don't have to think about anything because you've imagined yourself doing it 1,000 times. Now, when it comes to training, obviously you should be listening to whatever your coach is telling you to do. But if you do have some free time and you are either by yourself or with a friend, you should be training something consistently over and over and over again. A lot of times what a lot of players do is they'll go out, do a couple shots, maybe some free kicks, some cone work, some runs. And while that is great to get your fitness in and getting some couple shots, you should be working on repetitiveness. And by repetitiveness is picking one game scenario that you can remember, that you wish you'd done something different, and just doing whatever it is that you want to do and repeating that over as many times as you can to getting it down. What's so great about this is obviously now when that same scenario comes, you won't fold under pressure again. You're actually going to know exactly what to do because your mind has obviously processed it 100 times. So visualizing it, doing it in training, and come game time, I promise you, it will subside and you will see the improvements. Now, when I was in an academy, I talked to a sports psychologist, and something that he actually introduced me to was the 20-20-20 rule. I actually carried this through all my academy year and actually did this during my semi-pro year, and actually helped me a lot. And one thing that he told me was the way that you start the day will dictate the rest of it. Now, before I could even think about waking up, before being up, I would wake up super early without my phone, leave everything behind, and just be by myself. And 20 minutes of that, I spent stretching. The other 20 minutes of that, I spent working out. The other 20 minutes, I spent either involved myself in meditation or prayer. And while I was meditating, I was giving myself good thoughts of the character I am and how good of a soccer player I am. And obviously this sounds extremely cliche, and trust me, it was, but it really did help when you can just be by yourself and start the day just meditating, calming yourself down, just breathing, just really getting yourself ready for the rest of the day. Mentality is a super big key in what is going to keep you going. Like I said in the beginning, consistently And facing the challenges at face value is what's going to get you into the professional level. In the end, becoming a soccer player is not just a single moment. It is thousands of hours worked towards training. It is working and getting the money to go to those showcases. It is building up a social media, videoing yourself and going out and playing in games and showing them to those coaches. Thousands of emails sent, hundreds of DMs, videos all in your social media, just in capturing yourself and sacrificing so much so that almost all of you is just pursuing this dream. Now, talent obviously will open the door, but mental exposure and relentless work is what's actually going to get you through it. Now, for those who do make it, the journey does not end there. It is becoming more resilient, more passion, more effort to really show that you didn't just get there for some coincidence. You got there by the work that you put into it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any more comments about this subject or anything else soccer related, please leave a comment down below so we can reach out to you and work with you the best that we can to get you where you want to be.